Recording in progress.
Hi guys, good evening. So I hope all are getting my screen and voice. Please confirm. So please confirm in chat box all are getting my screen and voice. Good. Right. In yesterday's session, so we have seen what is DevOps. So in last session we have seen what is DevOps. I think you guys got clarity what is DevOps, what we are going to learn in this DevOps, what tools we are going to learn in this DevOps. I think you guys got clarity with yesterday's session. Right, first tell me what is DevOps, guys. DevOps is a process. Guys, already I told in yesterday's session, DevOps is not a technology. It is not a programming language. It is not a framework. Then what is this DevOps? It is a process or culture or set of practices. DevOps is a process or culture or set of practices. By using this DevOps practices, what we are doing? By using this DevOps practices, what we are doing? We are simplifying the delivery process. Right? Easily and quickly we can deliver the project to client by using this DevOps practices. By using DevOps practices, so we can simplify the delivery process. We can simplify the delivery process. We can deliver the project. We can deliver the project easily and quickly. Quickly to the client. Guys, please read the statements. DevOps is a process or culture or set of practices. By using this DevOps practices, we can simplify the delivery process. We can deliver the project easily and quickly to the client, guys. Before this DevOps means 10 years back, right? So we need to do everything manually. With that manual process, it is taking a lot of time to deliver the project to client, guys. Let's see here, already in yesterday's session we discussed, if you go with any project, we have two teams are available. If you go with any project, two teams are available. What teams are available? One is development team. Second one is operations team. Second one is operations team. Two teams are available, development team and operations team. What is the job of this development team? Guys, please respond. What is the job of this development team? What this development team will do? According to the project requirement, according to the client requirement, development team will write the code, guys. What developers will do? Developers will write the code according to the project requirement. Development team will develop the code. According to project requirement. According to project requirement by using some programming languages. What languages? Either Java or Python or .NET, whatever it. By using some programming languages, development team will develop the code according to our project requirement. So this is the job of the development team. Right? Once development is completed, what this team will do? This team will test the application whether it is working as per client requirement or not. Once development is completed, this team will test that application whether it is working as per client requirement or not. Once it is working, right, what they will do? They will upload the code into some remote area. They will upload the code into remote repository, right? Once development is completed, developers will test the application whether it is working as per client requirement or not. Right? Once they came to the conclusion, oh good, our project is working as per client requirement, what they will do? They will upload the code into one remote repository. Once they came to the conclusion, the project is once they came to the conclusion, the project is working fine. After testing, otherwise take like this. So after testing, they will upload the code. They will upload the code into remote repository. So guys, tell me here what remote repository we are using. In yesterday's session I explained. We have so many remote repositories are available. GitHub is available, Bitbucket is available, right? So earlier people used to work with SVN clear case, guys, 10 years back, but those are outdated now. Now people are working with GitHub and Bitbucket. Most of the companies are using GitHub, right? Guys, please go through these things. DevOps is a process or culture, guys, by today class. So everyone should get what is DevOps, what tools we are going to use, what is the purpose of each and every tool. Before go into the tools, you guys should familiar what is the purpose of those tools, guys. Where we will use those tools, what is the purpose of those tools, you guys should clear, right? See guys, what is DevOps? It is a process or culture or set of practices. By using these DevOps practices, we can simplify the delivery process. We can deliver the project easily and quickly to the client, right? If you go with any project, we have two teams are available, development team and operations team. What is the job of this development team? Development team will develop the code according to the project requirement by using some programming languages. What programming languages? Either Java or Python or .NET, whatever it. By using some programming languages, developers will write the code according to the project requirement. Once development is completed, what they will do? They will test the application in their local machines first. Once development is completed, they will test it in their local machines first, right? It is working fine. Then what they will do? They will upload the code, whatever they developed, whatever the code they created, they upload that code into one remote repository. Right here, we are going to use GitHub as the remote repository. GitHub, right? Or some companies will use Bitbucket. GitHub, Bitbucket, these are the remote repositories. Developers will upload the code into this GitHub repository. That's it, guys. Developers' job is completed. Only this part developers will do. Only this part developers will do, guys. Developers are not going to deliver the project to client. Developers are not going to deliver the project to client, and developers are not going to deploy the project into servers. What developers will do? Just they will develop the code. Once it is working fine, they will upload that code into the remote repository. That's it. This is the developer's job. Please have a look into this. Up to here, developer's job, guys. And here we have development team. Right. So development team will upload the code into one remote server. Will upload the code into one remote server. Here what remote server we are using? We are using GitHub as the remote server. Guys, don't feel bored. Before jumping into main tools, these things are mandatory. You guys should clear. So what tool we are using, which purpose? See guys, up to here development activity. Up to here development activity. Right guys, inside the remote server what we have? We have the Java code is available. We have the code which is written by Java. Right, computer can't able to understand that code. Computer can't able to understand that code. Computer can able to understand only binary language. But here the project is developed by using Java programming language. Computer can't able to understand that language. Then what we need to do? We need to convert that code into computer understandable format. We need to convert the code into computer understandable format. For that we are going to use build tool. We need to compile the project, guys. We need to compile. Whenever you did compilation, at that time, right, it will convert from Java language to computer understandable format. For that, here we are using one build tool which is Maven. What Maven will do? It will compile and package. Right, before compiling, what we need to do? See guys, up to here developers activity. Up to here developers activity. Right, here we have some servers are available. We have some servers are available. Tomcat I am taking. Tomcat is a web server. I am going to take this Tomcat as the web server. Right, here we will have multiple servers, not single server, guys. We will have always we will deploy our application into multiple servers, not in single server. If you deploy the application in single server, what it will happen? Right, if burden is increased on that server, it can't able to handle, guys. It can't able to handle. See guys, suppose a person wants to travel from one location to another location. A person by walk a person wants to go from one location to another location with some luggage. Suppose if you give 10 kgs of luggage, he can able to go easily. If you give 50 kgs, no problem, he can try. If you give 100 kgs, okay, he will try. Suppose if you give 500 kgs, is it possible to carry 500 kgs of weight from one place to another place by walk? No, maybe that person will fall down. Same here also, right? If you deploy the application in single server, right, suppose only one request is coming, no problem, my server can able to handle. Right, 10 requests are coming, no problem, my server can able to handle. 100 requests are coming, no problem, it can able to handle. 1 lakh requests are coming, no problem, it will handle. 10 lakhs requests are coming, maybe server can't able to handle that much of load. Server can't able to handle that much of load, guys. Maybe server will get crash also at that point of time. So that's why we need to deploy our application into multiple servers, not in single server. So now whatever the requests are coming, those requests will be distributed to all these servers. Load will be distributed to multiple servers. That's why we need to deploy our application in multiple servers. Tomcat. So like this, I took multiple server set here. Right, fine. Right guys, now we need to deploy the application into these servers. Guys, tell me, in this remote server, what code is available guys? Java code is available. You can't able to deploy this Java code directly into these servers. You can't able to deploy this Java code directly into these servers. Before deploying, you need to perform some operations. We need to perform some operations. Who will perform those operations? Those operations will be performed by operations team guys. Operations will be performed by operations team. Here we have two teams. One is a development team and another one is operations team. What is the job of operations team? What is the job of operations team? First, they need to create the infrastructure. First, they need to create the infrastructure. Right. Next, they need to download the code from this remote server. Next, they need to compile and package the code. So next, they need to do the code review. Next, they need to deploy the project into these servers. All these are the operations which are performed by the operations team guys. Understood guys? What is the development team activity? Just developing the code and upload into the remote server. So next, what this operations team will do, right? They will first set up the infrastructure. Next, infrastructure setup means what? Some missions you need to make it ready. Next, you need to install some softwares. Next, you need to, right? You need to set up this network, and you need to arrange power backup, and we need to arrange some backup, storage backup, and all these things you need to make it ready guys. Right, that is infrastructure setup. Who will do that activity? Operations team will do that activity. Once infrastructure is ready, what is the next job? You need to download the code. You need to get the code from the remote server. Right, what is the remote server we are using? GitHub we are using as the remote server. To download the code from this remote server, what you will use? We need to use some client application. To download the code from the remote server, we need to use some client application that is called as Git. Git is one client application guys. We need to install Git in our system. We need to install Git in our system. With this client application, we will communicate with this GitHub to download the code from the remote server. See guys, if you go here you can able to see. Go to Google here, download Git guys. Right, download Git. Right, so we are using Windows operating system. Just click on Windows. Right, see here, based on your system configuration, whether it is 32-bit or 64-bit, you need to select that one. Click here to download latest version, right, 2.37.1 64-bit. Click on this. Git is downloaded. Git is downloading at here guys. Right, once .exe file will be downloaded. Once this .exe file is downloaded, just double click on this. Go to that folder location and double click on this guys. See guys, it is downloading still. See, it is downloaded. So just double click and next finish. Git will be downloaded and installed in your system successfully. How you can able to confirm whether Git is installed successfully or not? How you can able to confirm? Open command prompt. In my system already installed guys. Open command prompt. Here just type git -version. Git -version. See, Git version 2.36.0 is available in my system. Git version 2.36.0 is available in my system, right? Otherwise you can check like this also, right? In search box just type git bash. Git bash, guys. This is the git bash, right? If you install git in your system, automatically you will get this git bash, right? By using this git bash only, in this git bash only you can able to run our commands, guys. Understood, guys? Is it clear? What we need to do? We need to download the code from the remote server. Here we are using GitHub as the remote server. How you will download the code? By using one client application. What is the client application you are using? Git I am using as the client application. By using Git, I will download the code from this remote server. Okay. Once code is downloaded, next what we need to do? We need to see, guys. Right, first activity here. What is the first activity? Infrastructure setup. Infrastructure setup is the first activity, right? Here all missions, you need to make it ready. The missions, right? Installing the softwares. Next here, next power backup, you need to ready the power backup. Next here, network setup, etc. All these things will come under infrastructure setup only. Once infrastructure setup is ready, what second thing you are doing? Downloading the code from the GitHub. Downloading the code from the GitHub. Downloading the code from the GitHub, right? So next what you will do, right? We need to compile and package. Compile and packaging we need to do. Next what we need to do? Code review we need to do. Next what we need to do? Deploy the application in servers. So this is what we need to do, guys. All these things, these are the operations which we need to perform. As a DevOps engineers, we need to perform all these operations. Guys. Tell me, yesterday I explained already. For infrastructure setup, what DevOps tool we need to use, guys? For infrastructure setup, what DevOps tool we need to use? Guys, respond. For infrastructure setup, very good. Right, here two ways we can do. Either manually we can do, or by code also we can do. Two ways. Infrastructure setup we can do in two ways, guys. If you want to do manually, we have user interface GUI is available. Through that GUI we can able to do. Right. Otherwise, if you want to do right coding by using some code, if you want to do, we need to go for Terraform. Guys. Right. Infrastructure setup we can do in two ways. What two ways are there? One is right through GUI. Through GUI we can do. Second one by using Terraform. Right, here we need to write some code, guys. If you want to go with the Terraform, we need to write some code. With that code, we can able to create the infrastructure. Understood, guys? Right. So next, suppose if you want to install the software, see here, I took 10 missions, guys. 10 Linux missions I have created. Now I want to install some softwares in those Linux missions. Then what tool we need to use, guys? Please. Guys, you should be strong in all the tools. Very good. Ansible we need to use, guys. Right here, the third is Ansible. Right, configuration management. Right, we will take care of by using Ansible, guys. Okay. Next here, I want to download the code. Infrastructure is ready. All systems are created. right? Systems are created, right? The softwares are installed, everything is ready, infrastructure is ready. Now what I want to do in these Linux missions, I want to download the code from this remote server. I want to download the code from the remote server to these Linux missions. First I want to connect with these Linux missions, guys, right? By using Git we can able to connect with these Linux missions. I will show how to create the Linux missions in the AWS. Where we are creating these Linux missions? We are creating Linux missions in AWS cloud. We are creating Linux missions in AWS cloud. We are not purchasing anything. We are not purchasing, guys, right? So AWS is providing for rent. AWS providing for rent, guys, but for us, right, 1 year free, guys. You can create any number of instances. For 1 year it is completely free. After 1 year you need to make the payment. You need to pay some amount, guys, right? For 1 year, for practice purpose we can use, no issue. I am creating the Linux mission in AWS cloud. How to create the Linux missions and everything we will discuss, no problem, right? So now in this Linux missions I want to download the code from this remote server. For that, which tool we need to use? We need to use one client software. What is the client software, right? We need to use, right, Git, guys. Git we need to use. GitHub is the remote server. Git is a client application, right? We will use that Git, right, to download the code from the remote server. Git is different, GitHub is different, guys. Okay, here we are going to use Git. Git we are using to download the code from the remote server to these Linux missions. So next, what I want to do, after downloading the code, we need to compile and package. We need to compile and package, guys. For that, which tool we need to use? Which DevOps tool we need to use for that? Please respond. To compile and packaging the code, which DevOps tool we need to use? Right, Maven we need to use. Maven is a build tool. Maven is a build tool. By using this Maven we can compile and package the code, guys. What other build tools are available apart this Maven? What other build tools are available? Any idea? Any idea what other build tools are available? Right, we have, right, so many build tools are available. Maven is available, Yant is available, Nant is available, Gradle is available. All these are the build tools only. All these are the build tools only. But in our sessions we are going to discuss Maven. In our sessions we are going to discuss Maven. Right? So once compiling and packaging is done, what is the next activity? Code review. For code review purpose, which DevOps tool we need to use? Guys, please respond. For code review purpose, which DevOps tool we need to use? SonarQube. Very good. SonarQube we need to use it here. SonarQube. Right? By using SonarQube, we can do the code review. Code review we can do, guys. Right, once code review is completed, we need to deploy the application into the servers. For deploying purpose, which DevOps tool we need to use? For deploying purpose, which DevOps tool we need to use, guys? Guys, please respond. Which DevOps tool we need to use? Yesterday we discussed all these things. Please respond. Hello. Jenkins, guys, very important tool. Jenkins is the very important tool. By using Jenkins we will deploy the code into these tools, guys. Okay, in order to run the project easily in multiple missions, we are running the project in multiple missions, not in single mission, guys. Observe carefully. We have multiple missions are available. In all those missions we are running this application. In order to run the project easily in multiple missions, we are going to use what we are going to use? The very important tools in our entire course, which is Docker and Kubernetes. Docker and Kubernetes, guys. Right? Why we will go for this Docker and Kubernetes? Right? To run the project in multiple missions. To run the project in multiple missions, we are using this Docker and Kubernetes. If you use this Docker and Kubernetes, easily you can maintain the application in multiple missions. Otherwise, you need to do lot of work, guys, to avoid that manual process. Right? If you go with this Docker and Kubernetes, you can maintain your project in multiple missions easily. Understood, guys? Guys, please confirm all tools are clear. First, we need to do the infrastructure setup. For that, right, infrastructure setup we can do in two ways. Where we will do this infrastructure setup? In AWS cloud, we will do this infrastructure setup. I will show how to do this setup in AWS cloud. Right, we can do in two ways, guys. What two ways are there? In AWS, we have user interface is there. Through that user interface, we can create the infrastructure. That is one step. Second approach is a Terraform. By using Terraform also we can create the infrastructure, guys. Nowadays most of the companies are using Terraform only. If you go with Capgemini, Cognizant, all those companies are compulsory asking the questions in Terraform. Right, all those companies are looking for Terraform only. Who knows this Terraform? They're recruiting those people only, guys. Capgemini, right, Cognizant, IBM, right, all these companies, they are using Terraform only, right, for infrastructure setup. Okay, once infrastructure setup is ready, to download the code from the remote server, we are using GitHub. Right, once missions are created, we need to install some softwares in those missions. For that purpose, we are going to use Ansible. Right, next we need to download the code from the remote server to our missions. Here, whatever the missions we created, into those missions we need to download the code. For that purpose, we are using Git. Right, next we need to compile and package the code. For that purpose, we are going to use Maven. Maven is a builder tool. Next, for code review purpose, we are going to use SonarQube. Next, we need to deploy the application into the servers. For that purpose, we are using Jenkins. Next, to maintain the application easily in multiple missions, I want to maintain my application in multiple missions. I want to run my application in multiple missions easily. For that purpose, I am going to use Docker and Kubernetes. Is this clear, guys? Please confirm, is it clear? Right, so next, guys, now tell me, guys, one patient is admitted in ICU. Assume, guys, just assume one patient is admitted in ICU. Whenever patient is admitted in ICU, 24 hours, 24/7 monitoring is required or not, guys? 24/7 monitoring is required or not? Please confirm. Patient is in ICU. Right, we need to monitor that patient 24/7 or not? Yes, 24/7 monitoring is required. Same way, whenever we deploy the application into these servers, 24/7 monitoring also required. Whether application is running successfully or not, or whether application is failed, right, with which reason that application is not working, that 24/7 monitoring is required. After deploying the application into the servers, 24/7 monitoring is required. Right, for monitoring purpose, we are using some tools at here. What tools we are using for monitoring purpose, guys? What tools we are using for monitoring purpose? Here we are using, right, yesterday I told, guys, what tools we are using? Please confirm. Whenever we deployed the application into the servers, 24/7 monitoring is required. Why? Because we promised to the customers. We promised to the customers. What promise you have given to the customers? Without any downtime, my application always should be in running condition. Without any downtime, my application should be always in running condition. That promise we have given to the clients. So always we need to monitor our application whether it is running or not. Understood, guys? Simple, guys. If you take any banking applications like HDFC, ICICI banks, guys, always 24/7 those applications are running or not? 24/7 those applications will run, guys, right? So those applications, right, are deployed in single server or multiple servers. They deployed that application. At the same time, they are doing monitoring also 24/7, guys. Here also, whenever we deploy the application into the servers, we need to monitor the application. For monitoring purpose, we are going to use Grafana we are using. Next we are going to use Prometheus we are using. Next we are going to use ELK. So these are the monitoring tools, guys. After deploying the application into the servers, we need to monitor whether that application is working properly or not. For that purpose, we are going to use these monitoring tools. In interview, if they ask the question like, what monitoring tools you are using in your project, I am using Grafana, Prometheus, ELK. These are the monitoring tools which I am using in my project. Clear, guys? Now tell me, when we will use Grafana, when we will use Prometheus, when we will use ELK? Guys, please respond. Now clear, all tools are clear. Now all tools are clear. Once my application is running on the AWS cloud, with Docker and Kubernetes, right? How my application is running? Is my application is running successfully or not? Any problems are there in my application? We need to monitor. Right? For monitoring purpose, we are going to use these tools, Grafana, Prometheus, ELK. These tools we are going to use. Right. So now Grafana and Prometheus used to monitor the Kubernetes clusters, guys. Right, Grafana and Prometheus we are going to use to monitor the Kubernetes clusters. How clusters are running, right? We need to monitor, guys. By using these two, we are going to monitor the Kubernetes clusters. Next, by using ELK, what we are doing? ELK is used to monitor how the servers are executing, how the application is executing in those servers, guys. Right? Very good. Logs, guys. How the application is executing in the servers. Log files will be created. Those logs file we need to monitor. Logs we are monitoring by using ELK, guys. Grafana and Prometheus we will use to monitor the Kubernetes clusters. Right, here by using ELK we need to monitor the application logs. How our application is running, that logs we need to monitor by using this ELK. Guys, here when you work with Grafana and Prometheus, here we have one beautiful dashboard is there, guys. There you can able to see the graphs, charts and everything you can able to see. Clear, guys? I hope now clear. All the tools are clear. And apart these tools, we are going to discuss one more thing, which is Nexus. Also we will discuss Nexus. What is the purpose of that Nexus? Nexus also we will discuss, guys. What is this Nexus? Right, over here we will create some package, guys. What is the package we are creating for our application? For our application purpose, we need to create some packages. Right, we need to store those packages in the server, guys. We need to store those packages in the repository servers. Right, here Nexus we are going to use as the repository servers. For our application purpose, whatever the packages we are creating, we need to store those packages in this Nexus server. Right, we will discuss all these things. We will discuss practically. Understood, guys? And we will discuss Tomcat also. Right, as a DevOps engineers, you guys should have idea on the Tomcat also. Tomcat is the web server, right, where we will deploy our web applications. That is the web server. Right, as web server we are going to use this Tomcat. Clear, guys? So let me make a note all the tools here once. Let me make a note. Right, first what we are doing, guys? First, developers will create the code and they will upload the code into the repository. Here, which repository we are using? GitHub we are going to use as the remote repository. GitHub. Next, to download the code from the GitHub repository, we need to understand Git as a client software. So next guys, for infrastructure setup, we are going to use Terraform, right? So next, for software installations, for configuration purpose, we are going to understand Ansible. Next, for compiling and packaging purpose, we are going to learn one build tool, which is Maven. Next, right, for code review purpose, we need to review the code, right? For code review purpose, we are going to use SonarQube. Next, for application deployment purpose, we are going to use Jenkins as pipelines. We are going to use. Next, to run our application in multiple systems easily, we are going to understand Docker and Kubernetes. Next, for monitoring purpose, we are going to use Grafana, Prometheus, and ELK. All these things we are going to use for monitoring purpose. And Nexus also. For it, we need to store our packages for our application purpose. Whatever the packages we are creating, those packages we need to store in repository server. We are using Nexus as the repository server. And I will show, right, a Tomcat, how to work with the Tomcat also. I will show it here, guys. Right, please have a look into these tools. Here we will discuss, right, Docker Swarm, Kubernetes. Docker Swarm also will discuss it here. Right, have a look into these tools, guys. Have a look into these tools. So now clear, right? For which purpose, which tool we will use, clear, right? Please respond, guys. Please respond. For which purpose, which tool we will use, clear? Right. So you guys got some basic idea what is DevOps, what is the duty of the responsibilities of the DevOps engineers. DevOps engineers will perform these operations. DevOps engineers will automate these operations, guys. Understood? DevOps engineers will automate infrastructure setup, installing the softwares, downloading the code, compiling and packaging, code review. You don't need to do manually. You no need to do the code review manually. We will do setup. We will automate this process. You no need to compile and package the code. We will automate this process. You no need to download the code manually. We will automate this process. Everything we are going to automate by using our DevOps tools. Understood, guys? Here whatever the operations I mentioned, all these operations as a DevOps engineer, all these operations we are going to automate by using these DevOps tools. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? Right, what is the GitHub, guys? GitHub remote server. What is Git? Right, a client application, client software. Right, what is Terraform? Right, for infrastructure setup. We will use Terraform. Ansible, configuration purpose. Maven, build tool. By using this, what we are doing? Compiling and packaging. Next, SonarQube, code review purpose. Jenkins for deployment purpose. Jenkins we will use for deployment purpose. Right, this Dockers and containerization. Right, Docker is the containerization, Kubernetes is the orchestration, Grafana, Prometheus, ELK, these are the monitoring tools. Nexus is the repository server. Tomcat, this is the web server where we will deploy the application. Clear, guys? Clear? Right, so here, right, so around 15 tools we are going to learn, guys. Approximately 15 tools we are going to learn. Out of all these 15 tools, right, very important tools, Docker and Kubernetes. Docker and Kubernetes are the very important tools in our DevOps. And Kubernetes is difficult also. Working with Kubernetes is not that much easy, guys. You guys need to put lot of effort to understand this Kubernetes, guys. Among all these things, which one is the difficult tool? Kubernetes is very difficult tool. Very difficult tool. Before going to interviews, before attending the interviews, you guys very strong in this Docker and Kubernetes. You guys should strong in Docker and Kubernetes, then only you can able to clear the interviews. Right, guys? Remaining tools won't take much more time, guys. Only this Docker Swarm and Kubernetes. These three things only will take approximately 1 month time, guys. Not 1 month. I'm going to say 30 hours. 30 sessions it will take, guys. 30 hours time it will take. Docker Swarm and Kubernetes will take 30 hours. 30 hours it will take. Understood? And next, after these three things, next Jenkins will take 1 week of the time. Jenkins will take 1 week of the time. SonarQube one class is enough. SonarQube is one class is enough. Ansible will take 1 week. Ansible will take 1 week. Next, Terraform will take 3 days. 3 days it will take. Next, Git, these things will take, both will take 3 to 4 days. Remaining things we can able to complete easily. Right? Most of the time we need to spend on this Docker and Kubernetes only. Docker and Kubernetes are very important tools, guys. Okay. Right. So next, guys, we are not going to purchase any systems. Right? In companies, we are going to work with the Linux operating systems only. Right? We need to create Linux missions. Where we need to create Linux missions? In AWS. In AWS cloud, we need to create the Linux mission. See, guys, here. So this is the AWS. Here, you guys should have the account, guys. AWS. You guys should have the account in the companies. Once you guys are joined in the companies, they will give one account to you guys. Go to here, aws.amazon.com. Go to here. First, you guys need to sign up. First, you guys need to sign up into this account. You guys need to create the account here. At the time of creating the account, it will ask you guys to enter your card details. You guys need to enter either debit card details or credit card details. Just they will deduct 2 rupees, guys. They won't deduct much more amount, just they will deduct 2 rupees. After 48 hours, again, right, you will get that 2 rupees back. Just for verification purpose, guys, whether you are the genuine person or not, just for verification purpose, it will deduct 2 rupees. Again, after 48 hours, you will get the 2 rupees back. Okay, guys. Right, in this AWS, once you guys are created the account, we have one service which is EC2 service. EC2. We have one service which is EC2 service. EC2. Right, by using EC2, what we will do? We will create the Linux missions. We will create the Linux missions. How many number of Linux missions you can create? You can create any number of Linux missions. For 1 year, after creating the account, for 1 year, it is free. It is completely free, guys. For 1 year, right, we can use for practicing purpose. After 1 year, right, so we need to create one more mail ID. And we need to take one more phone number. We need to take one more mail ID, and we need to create one more new account, guys. Okay, for 1 year it is free. Right, you can create any number of missions by using EC2. In those missions only we are going to download the code and we are going to perform all the operations, guys. Right, everything we are going to do using Linux only at here. So that's why first we need to understand Linux. What commands are there in the Linux? All those commands we need to learn first. So that's why first, after completing our next, Right, tomorrow session I will talk about SDLC. Actually today only I plan to explain, but before going to that you guys should clear about all these tools. That's why again today also spent on these tools only. Tomorrow I will talk about SDLC. Here we will discuss waterfall methodology and agile methodology. After completing that I will talk about DevOps life cycle. After that I'm going to start with Linux I will start, guys. Right, so how many days we are going to spend on this Linux? How many days we need to spend on this Linux? Right, at least 10 hours. At least 10 hours we need to spend on this Linux, guys. At least 10 hours are required to complete this Linux. Right, so you guys are should very strong in this Linux. Then only you can able to work with this DevOps tools, guys. If you guys are not clear about the Linux, it is very difficult to work with this DevOps and AWS. First you guys should clear about the Linux. That's why first I'm going to start with this Linux. Once this Linux is completed, then I will talk about our DevOps tools one by one. Right, our DevOps tools one by one I will discuss after completing Linux. Right, and if possible, guys, if possible, I'm not sure, guys, if possible I will start AWS parallelly, guys. If you guys want, you guys can attend parallelly. Otherwise, after completing this I will discuss AWS. Right, there is no dependency, guys. There is no dependency. If you guys want, you can attend parallelly. If any new batch is started for AWS, right, sometimes I will start only AWS batches. Right, at that time you guys also can able to attend for this AWS sessions. You guys can save the time. You guys can save the time, guys. You can quickly complete your course if you attend parallelly. First Linux you guys need to finish. After that DevOps parallelly, after Linux DevOps will start. If any new AWS batch will start, you guys can attend AWS sessions at here. Understood? So then you guys can able to finish the course quickly. Is it clear? So this is our roadmap, guys. This is our roadmap. Okay, clear, guys? All DevOps tools are clear? Please confirm. Guys, please confirm all DevOps tools are clear. What tools are available, for which purpose, which tool we will use, everything is clear? Good, guys. Okay, I'm stopping it here. Tomorrow I will discuss directly. Tomorrow I'm not going to discuss what is DevOps again. Tomorrow directly I will talk about SDLC. What is SDLC? What is waterfall methodology? What is agile methodology? What differences are there between two? Right, what limitations are there in waterfall? Everything we will discuss. Right, very important, guys. SDLC, software development life cycle, is very important. If you want to start any project, we need to follow some life cycle, guys. We need to follow some life cycle, right? Requirement gathering, analysis, designing, implementation, testing, deployment. We need to follow some life cycle, guys. That is the software development life cycle. In our academics, we have software development. One paper is there, guys. There we learned all these things. Okay. Yes, you guys will get recordings. Okay, guys, with 6 months access, guys. With 6 months access, you guys will get the recordings. No issue. You guys will get the recordings. I will share, guys. I will share. Actually, once batch is confirmed, we need to create a group. For that entire group, I need to give the access. Okay, I will share. Is it fine, guys? These are the tools we are going to discuss. First we need to talk about Linux, then I will come with this DevOps, guys. Okay, guys. Thank you, guys. Good night. We will connect tomorrow at 7:30. Right, so for communication purpose, right, we will create the group in Telegram, guys. Telegram we are going to use. Telegram. In Telegram, right? So if you guys want this recording, right, please send one message to WhatsApp number. I'll give the Telegram link. Please join in the Telegram link. I will share this record. What is the today class record, yesterday class record? I will share those things in Telegram. Okay, fine guys. So in WhatsApp and emails, I can't able to share the recordings, guys. Why? Because it is too lengthy, right? And I can't able to share. In the Telegram only I get able to share. Right, just for 2 to 3 classes, guys. After that, so I will give the access for your emails. Okay, fine guys. Thank you. Good night.